This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. This is taken at the 15. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your...
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Clay Matthews adding another sack to his impressive NFL resume.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Wentz going to throw. He goes full extension, and he's got it. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
And going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. 17 yards and a 1st down for Philly. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. He's got the hook up once again to Jeffrey. 17 yards and a 1st down for Philly. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
On 1st down, Wentz. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's Clay Matthews with a pick. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line.
Defense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Again, it's Wentz. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Well, we got a second. Let's look ahead to Week 7 and what's on the slate. Things start out Thursday night. Kansas City at Denver, divisional battle.
Suddenly an interesting game. Kansas City having lost their last 2, and Denver now playing defense as we expected. But how about the NFL 100 game of the week? Oakland at Green Bay, a rematch of Super Bowl II.
Also have New Orleans at Chicago and Philly visiting Dallas on Sunday night.
That is a huge one in the NFC East.
Yeah, both teams 3-3. The winner will have the lead. And a big loss here as he's taken down. A sack by Brandon Graham. He's been doing that since he entered the league in 2010. 2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. He's got room to run past the 20 as he'll take it all the way up to the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Throwing on third. Goff. And that is incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Just a 30-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Eagles take the field again, and I want to revisit what we said earlier about their start now at 3-3. Not an amazing beginning of the season, but hey, they're still tied for the lead in the NFC East. Big one Sunday night, Week 7 at Dallas, and head coach Doug Peterson, he already said, hey, we're going to go down to Dallas, we're going to be ready to play, and we're going to win that football game. What do you make of the comment?
I think that Doug Peterson is telling his team that he still believes in them. You know what a tough market it is in Philadelphia. You know what it's like with expectations around the league, that this is a Super Bowl-ready roster, and they're at 3-3. He wants that team to know that he believes in them and that they're still talented enough to go out and get it done. In a sense, putting himself on the line and trying to take the pressure off of his players, because you know what kind of questions they're going to face all week going into that. He wants all those questions to be directed to him.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. Here's Wentz to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Gurley's got the first down and then some. It'll be a first down for the Rams there on a pickup of 18.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Gurley. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. A shotgun snap for Goff. And that's going to be intercepted. Malcolm Jenkins, the Pro Bowler. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Woods, the intended receiver. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah,
and for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Nikel Roby-Coleman. And a potential turning point as he'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. The final shot before break here. Goff. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Gurley. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Past the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley, 44 yards. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And last year's rushing and total touchdown leader Todd Gurley caps it with his first of the game here. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. All right, CD, let's have a little fun. Now that we're into October, I'm going to give you some AFC teams. You tell me quickly, contender or pretender. You ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's start in the East. Buffalo.
Contender for a wild card spot.
Okay, how about the Chargers?
Pretender.
AFC North, the Steelers.
Contender because the AFC North is a jumble.
Okay, and then lastly, let's go to the South, Jacksonville.
Pretender. Houston now in control.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. And that will be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. This is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. So many questions about Todd Gurley in the offseason. How good is the knee? I mean, remember, he had a heavy workload the last couple years, nearly 4,000 yards from scrimmage, 40 total touchdowns, but just 4 carries in the NFC Championship game, 10 in the Super Bowl. So we'll see what kind of usage. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Touchdown, LA. Todd Gurley. His second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. He's turning in a heck of a game. He's creeping up towards 200 yards, a pair of touchdowns now.